What's up, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of This Week in Madden, show 238.
238.
Here's what we got coming up on the show tonight. If you guys don't know what this is a Madden weekly show. We take your questions, we give you some MUT 101 tips, we do live labbing, breakdown questions in the chat. We usually have a beginner breakdown where we teach you something new about the game, teach you how to fish for yourself. And then we usually have a scheme of the week. Tonight will be the Patriots. And then we play a game of the week where we'll usually take something and then we learn on the scheme of the week and we'll run through it in the game of the week so you get tips on how it goes. So that is what TWIM is about. You guys can always send your questions in the chat. Use hashtag TWIM and you can get your questions in there. All right. First,
shout out to everybody in the chat that recognized new setup. Post Irma setup.
Yeah, this is an Irma setup.
This is an Irma setup.
You want to hit me with a handoff?
What?
I have no power. Yeah.
Wow. Should we turn that off for YouTube people?
It's pretty hyped.
It's kind of good. That's kind of all right. Leave it. Leave it.
It's why YouTube people should watch.
That's why YouTube people should watch. Let me see this real quick.
Get rid of maybe that.
No, we want that. We want
Okay.
that. Get rid of that one. Yeah.
Ticker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
Cool. So, we're going live right now. We're going to break down your questions. Tonight on the show, like I said, we're going to talk about the best player in Madden. We're going to give you a complete Madden offensive scheme from a very specific formation. We're going to talk about loop blitzing, which a lot of people are doing. We're going to talk about attack and cover 4, which a lot of you guys are having trouble with. We're going to talk about stopping the halfback.
Wham.
And we're going to give you a little 101 on what mesh is as a concept. Lots of other good questions in the mailbag tonight, so we're going to work on that. We're lived in on the Panera Bread Internet Wi-Fi from Orlando, Florida. Got hit pretty hard, but we got to get our tips in. Gibbs is just going to retweet
I am.
the tweet there, and then we're going to lock in. Shout out to the chat for stopping by. Live every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, twitch.tv/MaddenTips. You can also then catch it on youtube.com/cfarles and youtube.com/sgibs after. All right, Gibbs, ready? First question in the mailbag tonight.
Yep.
It's coming in from Reggie. He wants to know, is there one formation that has it all? And so last week we promised we would do a Patriots offensive playbook breakdown. We got sidetracked because we ended up giving away a different scheme.
Yeah.
But Patriots offense is really, really good. They have gun split close.
Yep.
They've got some good 5 wide. They've got some good single back too. They have tight slots, which we broke down last week.
Yep.
But they've also got this one formation that's changed a little bit. What makes this a complete set, and what do you like about it? What is it?
Yeah, so the one set I would say that currently right now with the state of the game with audibles and everything you're looking at, I would say that the gun A slot offset in the New England Patriots playbook, I think pound for pound, is the best formation in the game when you take into account audible sets. I'm not talking like all plays, because I would still say gun bunch is there. I think gun bunch tight end probably better. I think gun tight flex is very good. But when you look at the audibles that you have and the plays at your disposal from this, it is a complete set. You can kind of live in this formation all game, and with your audible set, you have a lot of success with it. So if you take a look at this gun A slot offset is the formation we want to take a look at. And let's just first quickly go over some of the plays, what makes it so effective. So you have an inside zone. Let's do a quick audible down. Then you have what I love, posts. Post has been a powerful play in Madden for a very long time. We're talking Madden 09 Detroit Lions playbook. Post is that good for that long. You get a PA bubble. I don't love the play action, but you do have a bubble, so you do have a screen at your disposal. Then I absolutely love having 0-1 trap. So if you become run heavy with this offensive formation, you come out 0-1 trap. You have inside zone to kind of crank the run off the left edge. 0-1 trap for short yardage situations. 0-1 traps, halfback whams require a specific setup to stop them, which then opens up other things. That's what's good about having an 0-1 trap and an inside zone.
Later in the show on this channel, you can check and see 0-1 trap and wham defense later in the show.
And then you have what I think makes this one of the most balanced, one of the most potent offenses by default in the game, is that levels Y sail is your quick audible right. So that's something that's really important to note, is that the levels Y sail is your quick audible right. And then also take a look at this China double in. This is a very unique play that you have at your disposal. You have a levels concept on the left, you have a sail concept on the right, and then a very deep corner as well. So it's a very unique play. You don't find it in, I think this is the only playbook in the game that has this variety of it. So it's a nice little wrinkle to add into your level sail, because you have that sail on the right, they're going to take that away, and then you have levels concept underneath, like a mesh, two routes underneath and a deep corner. Well, let's first come out and let's just show you how we like to start with a passing offense. It all starts with the play posts. So on offense, what'd you come out here for me?
So I came out in cover 4. Would you say this is if you're a type of player, you say I'm a pass-heavy player, I'm a run-heavy player. This is more of like a balance / pass-heavy scheme.
You could be whatever you want in this. If you wanted to be run oriented, you'd come out in 0-1 trap, and you focus everything around that. If you want to come out and be a pass player, you focus everything around this play posts. This play has everything you need to create a powerful offense. And the first thing that you would do with this is there's only one hot route to the base setup, and that's putting your left tight end here, that's Allen, on a drag. So it's coverage audible, Y, and then right on the stick down. You then put him here on a drag pattern, and then that's what opens up everything else up for your offense to run. So if you go ahead and play defense here, so the drag opens up the route on the right side of the field. It gives you somewhat of a sail concept on the right side because you have a corner, then you have the drag underneath to make them have to take away the hard flat, make them take away the deep corner as well. Now off of that, you create a very hard situation for a user defender. You're going to force them on the right side of the field to play a hard flat because that drag will always be there. And then you're going to force them to man up Gronkowski, okay, because they have to take away that corner. Now what ends up happening now, you then force them to user guard Lewis, which then can open up Hogan or Cooks downfield, depending on what they have on the opposite side of the field. Now in this instance, you're in a cover 4, and that's okay. So right now, like if you go over there, then that's going to open up. Now cover 4 probably not the best way to try and slow this down, but you'd probably play cover 3, gain a resource underneath. But the base setup of this, it really gives you a lot of things you're doing here. So what I like to do is use a motion with Hogan, because if it is man, the motion will give him a free release, and then the corner, he'll win on the cut. So free release there, and then when he cuts on the sideline, if he's got good route running, that's why I use the motion there. I also want to avoid press in some zone situations. So when you put him in motion, he will he'll
avoid the press if it's like a flat guy lined up in front of him or whatever.
Right. So now if you play cloud flats, just play cloud flats for me here real quick.
Get those, got them.
So there's cloud flats. If I run this play now, that will open this up underneath right here to Allen. So just depend on who you're using there. In this instance, we'll go one more time. So give me a cover 3. Give me a cover 3. Cover 3 with cloud flats.
Enable here.
So cloud flats on the outside. That's what then opens up the drag here. Because if they want to take away the corner, you have the underneath drag here. This is the way you look at this. Is if you watch bunch trail, the way we run that play, we put the out to the halfback, out to the far left receiver to open up and take those, attack that short part of the field on the left and right side. And that's what we want to do with this offense as well. So
Patriots playbook here.
Right. So now this route to the halfback is very difficult to defend. He runs a crisp route.
Short. Yeah, he runs it pretty well.
He runs a really crisp route. And then the next thing I want to note about this is on the left side of the field, you can leave it by default stock. And then what I would recommend on that, I would, in most cases, probably now get rid of the Gronkowski route, because one zone without a flat on that side can take away the Gronk route, or they man him up. So you really need 2 routes for that route to be super valuable. So then I would like to do is I streak him, and now you create a high-low read with Lewis or Gronk.
Yeah.
Are they going to drop down and take Lewis?
Right.
Okay, I wait for him to clear the zone.
Like against cover 2, if I'm going to try and play short, you could pop past the Gronk potentially.
And then the next move there would be to put Gronk on an in. So he runs his route, he clears through, and then you see how you have 2 kind of reads right in the middle of the field that mesh well, will attack a lot of zones. And then you have, you still have the route combination on the left, and you have a flat, and you have a corner.
That looks very similar to gun split close, fullback trail.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you have both kind of routes coming across.
So what's great is now, with one play, I'm able to attack you on the right side of the field really well with the drag in the corner and then the angle of the halfback. But then with just one quick adjustment, now I completely change the entire flow of the offense, and now I'm attacking on the left side.
Right.
From the same place, same motion, everything looks the same. Now you have to protect the left side of the field here, and then, oh, by the way, I know you're going to cover 4, so I don't want to throw that, but I got the deep post to backbreaker. So when someone goes to a cover 2, when they go now cover 2 now, I now have a way to just absolutely torch you in the middle of the field if you're protecting that. You don't get a good pass rush on me, right? So once they get to that situation right there, bang, now I deliver. A lot of people are now playing cover 2 again with some of the new patch zones, which make it pretty good. So that, I mean, this one play has so many possibilities in terms of what you can do. I mean, the whole nother aspect of this scheme is something along the lines like this, right? If I streak Allen, okay, this is a great way. A lot of people say, how do you beat cover 4s, right? A great way to beat cover 4 is these delay crossing patterns. We're going to show you more specific plays later in the show, but if I streak Allen here, and now I use motion, just like I do on the other plays, I'm going to leave Hogan on that route. I'm going to snap him over here, and then I need time in the pocket. And then you see the crossers right there with the halfback and then Hogan underneath. The halfback cross will get the attention of these zones or the user, and then you have the deep post that are behind it with Hogan. So there's so much you can do.
That's a spot that elite players, pro players attack constantly. Like, they have nothing, and then all of a sudden they hit the throw, coming across on the numbers towards the sideline, behind a flat or behind like a purple, but in front of the deep because of the angle, the PA post, like the PA post style plays. That route right there is critical for top players.
Right. So it was really difficult for your opponent to key in on what to attack and where to go with this. And let's not forget, you can do the same thing over here. What I like about with Cooks here is if you get into a 3rd and like 5 situation, you can smart route this Cooks route. You can't do it in practice mode, but you smart route the Cooks, and then you motion them over. And now you have a corner route you can throw on that sideline.
Like a quick hitter.
A quick corner, but it has to be in the right spot. You snap it, he'll run the corner.
Route. Yeah, I got it.
He runs it crisp, you throw a down away pass. But you see how that works there?
Yep.
Right, so you can utilize that post there as well. So there's a lot you can do, and that's just this one-play posts. I mean, let's talk about motion Lewis out of the backfield, right? If it's a short zone and there's no, right, in this instance, you're on Mosley, right?
Yeah.
Let me see the zone. See how there's no defender over there?
Right.
This is a snap. If I know that, snap, give him the ball. Snap and give him the ball, right? There's so many little nuances that you can run with this just one play that can make it really difficult for your opponent to key on what you're doing. Move Lewis to the back on the left side here. Now he runs a different angle here.
Yeah.
He's going to get into a different spot.
You don't, and so visually right now, we're all pattern recognizing players. That pattern of Lewis coming out of the backfield, like, that's going to stall your brain in the first 1 or 2 times you see it. You expect him to run like a quick out.
Right.
Like, when he goes up through the guard and center, you're like, hey, what route is it? Oh, it's an angle. Like, when you see him start from the right side, you know it's an angle.
Right.
But because he's on the left, your brain, there's not a lot of routes with that stem. The only other one's like the 4 verticals one sometimes when they come out and they bang quick to the left, but that's different.
So, Farrell's, just do this for me. They're saying run cover 4 drop. Okay, if you just cover audible RB up on your linebackers, now blitz the right side linebacker. Okay, now you're in cover 4 drop. So now you have cover 4 drop.
Okay.
They wanted to see, like, okay, how does this work against cover 4 drop?
Yep.
It absolutely will be pretty effective for you, even if you had one more hook. One more hook's not going to be the end-all, break-all for a lot of what's going on in the field. Just gives you more time in the pocket to make a play. So
deep beat route.
You can see that deep beat route right there.
Yeah.
It's right there. It gets open. That route's not going to get there. That's going to require a cloud flat over there. The name of the game of Madden is to make your opponent use their resources to stop certain things, and then you come back on top of them with something different and attack them a different spot. The game starts like this. You need to be able to show them that you can beat man. You then need to be able to show them that you can attack both short flats at all times. So now they go, okay, can't play man because they're going to torch me. Then they go, oh, well, I have to play hard flats on both sides of the field. And then you need to show that you can attack both deep corners at the same time, okay? Because then they have to protect the deep corners. And then you can show them you can attack the seam. Good luck. Good luck. And that's what this one play can do. It can attack everywhere on the field.
Because here's what's very interesting about this play. Show me the setup where you have Lewis coming across the middle and then Gronk on the in.
Yep.
So say if you only ran that setup against me constantly,
right,
the first thing I would do is I would then start to use this player over here.
Right.
Because I'm like, he never goes to the right side of the field, which you even do have Hogan, but like I would start to cheat over here.
Right.
And then you could just easily go back to potentially right, but I'm so ready for levels. I'm so ready for that corner like that. I'm eventually going to get burnt by that Gronk route, and I'm just not ready.
Right. I get what you're saying, yeah.
For it.
Right.
Because you're flowing constantly to the left there. This formation in my brain as a Madden player says Lewis on a flat, Gronk on a corner.
Right.
All the time. That's what I'm thinking when I come out in this. So I wouldn't have the tendency to do that, so you would be able to flood me to the left pretty easily before I started to make some adjustments, and then you could always go back to them. So those are a couple good things. That's just one play in this Patriots formation. Gibbs, go back out to the play call screen real quick. Show them. This is Patriots playbook, shotgun. It's the second or third formation. Slightly different name change from last year. It's the gun ace slot offset. We ran you through all the plays. But what makes it the most complete formation Obviously, that post play is one of the most complete plays because you just showed all the areas you can attack. But the quick audibles in this was what you were most like excited about.
Right.
So let's bump through those.
Right. So we'll come back out and post again. So this time just come out in 3-4, drop cover 2, cover 4 because that's what everyone wants. 3-4 odd. Go up. Right, first play right there. All right. So now we're in this 3-4 cover drop 2. This is a lot of people are facing. We're gonna go over this a little later as well, but. A lot of people are facing this. It is a difficult defense. It's a lot of coverage. That's why people run it, right? And it's good. So it forces mistakes. You always see this defense as a very effective defense in the beginning of the year. It's actually a pretty effective defense throughout the entire year because bend but don't break, and that's the purpose of it, right? It's also good run D because you're in cover 4. And safeties will play up and play run first. So that's why it's a very good standard defense to play. The next thing off of this, right? Your quick audible to the right. It's X on the audible for Xbox One. And then it's the LB, or right on the right stick. It gets him to level sales. Now this, by default, is one of the best plays in the game that people are running. So I make one adjustment on this, and I like to keep the same type of offense, same motion, everything you're seeing. So I'll either leave Hogan on that deep in, and I run it like a vertical because he stems long enough, and you can still throw it as a streak. Or I put him on a streak, and this is like a pure cover 2 style beater, right? So I'll put Hogan here. I'll streak him here. I got Dwayne Allen there, Dwayne Allen here. So you have the 2 underneath routes. You force them to have a flat and a man up on the corner or a Mabel on that side. Then you can do certain things like you could put Allen on a streak. So
they would have to hard flat.
Correct.
They would have to man up Gronk. Would they man up Gronk with Weddle, or would they man him up with?
They're gonna man him up.
Jefferson?
They're gonna man him up.
Or with the
well,
linebacker.
so let me. So one thing that you could see here. This is a more advanced setup, but. Regardless of your cover 4, whatever it is, what you're going to see the best players in the world do, hard flat on the outside. You're going to put the outside corner, put him on a, so do this, put him on a buzz, cloud flat him.
The buzz here.
So it's A and then right on the D-pad?
A and then right on the D-pad.
Oh, you can't get that on.
No, you can't get him because he's on the
So
outside.
leave him on a soft spot, that's fine. Leave him on a soft spot. And then you have the hard flat there. Now take the deep safety.
Yeah.
You'd man up Gronkowski. This is even if you were facing like gun bunch. This is kind of what it looks like. So now the right side of the field, no matter if I run like PA post, if I run a play with the corners, that right side of the field is locked with that specific sort of hard flat, soft squat, and that. Because if I run a vertical to Gronk, that's what you got to worry about. Well, he's manned up, so you don't have to worry about that. So the right side of the field on that setup is locked. That's the idea with that setup there. I guess until you're going to do that with a deep, slow safety. But the purpose is that's what you're going to force them to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to force hard flat, a buzz over there, and man. That will, in theory, slow that whole right side of the field down. Well, then that opens up your other routes, your other plays. So if you go cover 2 here, they're going to use their resources to slow down what you're doing. I could put Allen here on a vertical, put Hogan on a drag, not even use motion. If you don't get to that seam right there, that's a quick pot pass. You have to have that in your back pocket. You have to force them. A big part of the success of this formation is forcing this throw right here to Allen. Make them have to defend that because people will drop to a cover 2 to slow this down if they can. And then if you don't have that, you got the 2 underneath crossers. You got B to Hogan. You got the backside drag to Cooks that opens up as well. So that's your more like you want to attack them short. I would really recommend that that's how you attack them short. Is by attacking with display levels from left to right on the field. Now your quick audible to the left. This is one of the better power plays in the game. PA post shot. A variety of this is found in a lot of different playbooks. It's not just this. You're going to find this kind of route combination everywhere. Gun type flex, for example, in the Titans book that a lot of people are running, right? This same route combination exists from gun type flex. This is the same type of routes.
Combos.
So that's what's great about it. What's also good is that you kind of get the same. You get the same flow that you can create here. So remember how we dragged Allen?
Yep.
Okay. What's great about dragging Allen here is you're not going to give them an initial tell off like the first route that they're like, I have to defend that. That drag route is going to be a very consistent route for you throughout this entire scheme. So now when you combo Allen on the same drag, but then change the other routes around it, that makes it a lot harder to figure out how to use her and defend this play. You also have the same post to Cooks. So really what's changing is the Hogan route and the Gronk route. And then you have the Lewis route. I like to block him because you got some deep verticals. So
it takes time, yeah.
It takes some time, but something's changed here. So you can have the route to Cooks, which is great against man-to-man. He'll get inside leverage and win. He also beats against cover 2. You have the route to Gronk. If you want to get Lewis in the pass game, I would recommend the flare left. That helps open up that Gronk route against cover 4s.
Yeah.
And then you also have this route to B that beats down the sideline here as well. These require a down and away passing, but there's that right there, that cover 4 beater that everyone wants, right? So if you get into a situation, you flare the halfback, Gronk runs vertically downfield, you're going to beat him there. And then you also have, we'll show you here, you need time in the pocket, let's not forget. So if you stay in that defense, Hogan, he runs his route, crisp. He's going to get to a tender spot in the field. That's a down and away pass right there. I need to let him break a little more. Pressure was coming in there. But that is the same idea. You want to get to a tender spot in the field with that route. You can also kind of get, somewhat cute with this offense if you want to use motion here. You motion Hogan over.
You got to be careful with the Allen route too. The Blues, to me, are a little bit dangerous. I like to get them on a drag quick.
But you can see how that is a way, like, just to beat that cover 4 to that sideline. You motion them over. Show that one more time. So base setup, drag Allen to keep the routes underneath. You flare Lewis left, motion Hogan over. This is a LB and down pass lead to the sideline to make sure that the safety doesn't break on the ball. Right there, and see how you down and away pass. I possession catch 90% of my throws this year as well, because the possession, it also doesn't, like, when you go for a rack or go aggressive, they go for it to be a more aggressive route. They let the ball kind of travel downfield a little bit more. It makes it a little easier for safeties to clamp down and jump on the ball. So that's where I like to go with it. We'll show you a couple other plays from this. We'll go to the China play right here.
Good quick audibles. Really can attack multiple
China
things,
double in now.
which is nice.
So here's China double in. What's good about this is now you have a corner on both sides of the field. So in this instance, what I would do here is I'd put Cooks on a smoke screen.
Yes.
And then I would take Hogan and I'd drag him.
I like this
So
setup.
now we're in that same territory again where we're running the same type of routes. Allen's going to have a vertical stem route. So it looks like level sail. You have level sail on the right. But the problem that the people will have is when Allen flares out, but okay, you covered him? Okay, well I got the smoke screen underneath.
Right.
Great wrinkle.
Aside from missing a deep post on this play looks a lot like the play from the trips that we went over last week that I ran like all game, where you
X
have
under.
X under.
Only thing it's missing is the post, but you have other power plays mixed.
You can still hit the post from other plays in this set.
And again, I can't stress the importance of, like, a lot of these plays, they have different results, but they have different points of emphasis that, like, is where you want to go with the ball. But a lot of the base elements of it look the same, which makes it so difficult for a user defender to pick up on it, right? Like, they'll see the stem to Allen, and then they might immediately think, oh, he's going to run a vertical. And so you be the user defender. This is classic when I've run this play. I've only played about 5 or 6 games with it online. I've done pretty well. But what will happen is you'll see the vertical stem, and they're going to be late on that. Because they'll keep running in the middle of the field with it. So just kind of pretend like he's going to run vertically there. And then in like a slight delay, I would throw to the underneath flat there. But that's what happens. And then next thing you know, you're going back to level sail, right?
Right.
You come back to level sail, and now you break on the corner with that hook, right? You're going to break on the corner because you know that corner's coming, and then you can throw the seam, right? So this is like what is going to get to that part that while I think this is a very good offense, I think it's going to be a very hard offense to run because there's so many plays.
Right.
There's so many different hot routes, different nuances for you to run. It's going to take a lot to master it, perfect it. It's going to a lot of practice.
But it's nice that you can get to everything that you need without really having to get too wild.
Right.
You know? That's nice. That's nice. You can attack so many different parts of the field. You have the levels concept. That's what people are going to be looking for. So the angle's really nice. The Lewis on the play we showed.
Yep.
The deep post to Cooks is very good as a backbreaker style. Cover 2. I like that you have the quick seam throws. I like that you even just can make a simple mesh to Gronk.
Like, drags.
It's almost like a single back ace style where it's pretty balanced with the motion. Like it's all together pretty balanced.
Let's not forget this, right? I mean, you option Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Do this. Motion him out of the backfield. You can get him on a slant when you put him on an option. Now you run a little 5 wide. Gun ace 5 wide. Right? I mean, that's what this turns into. There's so much you can do. And the other thing that's great about these sets is when you run them, you have 2 tight ends. So you feel confident. Okay, he's really dialing up pressure on that left edge.
Right.
You always have a way to pick up pressure on edges. And that's something that's, while a small thing about this set, you have pass protection on lock if you want it, right? You can always pick up the blitz because you have a tight end on both sides of the field, so that really can help your pass protection, right? So what's one of the weaknesses of level sales, right? One of the weaknesses is that you're using the tight end resource, you're using the halfback resource. You don't really have pass protection. Okay, well if you have this offense, if you're running from a trips variety, you're not going to have the tight end. But now you can block a tight end, use slide protection, pick pressure off the left. There's a lot you can do with it. There's so much that's available to you, and we didn't even talk about the 0-1 trap run. I mean, it's a small thing, but it's an important thing. And I think for the way a lot of people might want to play the game, this is a great way to start and get in this offense. You come out on the 0-1 trap like this. You force them to have that specific defense to stop the 0-1 trap. You're going to force them to stop that, take it away completely. That the 0-1 trap is like a train. It's like a train track. There's some wiggle room. There's some place to go. But like once you're on that track, you're just kind of going. You're going downhill, and that's where you're going with the 0-1 trap. Very specific defense.
Whereas the inside zone, you can, which is the quick audible, you can kind of pick the lane you want to go. If you see a cutback, or if you see potentially take it outside.
Bad stick.
Well, Terrell Suggs is a beast.
Right. So bad stick there, and then you can I get over there. I can cut it back. I mean, everyone knows the inside zone how good it is.
Good combo.
Right. So it's a great way to have a run-oriented offense from this set, and a lot of times, what you run into when you want to have a run-oriented offense from a playbook, you have like the inside zone. That's all you have from like a gun set usually, right? And then your quick audibles aren't usually not that great. You usually have like a 4 verticals is always one of your plays.
Yeah.
Well, when you come out in the 0-1 trap and you have the inside zone, those are true audibles. Well, now you got level scale as a quick audible, which is just by default one of the best plays in the game that people are using, right?
Right. So you don't even have to call it to get it.
And then you have one of the best power plays in the game, PA post shot. So that is just dynamic to have at your disposal that not a lot of other formations or offensive schemes really can give you in the game. So that's what I think, pound for pound, this is one of the best stock offenses you're going to find in the game.
That's the Patriots playbook here on This Week in Madden, weekly show here. We break down your questions. We owed you that from last week. It's a complete formation, great quick audibles, good stuff. Try it. Let us know what you think. We're going to play a game of the week here coming up where we'll actually break it down and see what we come up with on the scheme. Gibbs going to try and run just this and try and get a victory with it. All right, we're going to keep going through the mailbag here. We're taking your questions. We're reading the chat, hanging out. Let's see what is next in the mailbag. This one is from Underdog. He wants to know any tips for a coverage-style defense. And I think we talked a little bit about that earlier, Gibbs, what people are doing. 3-4 odd, the cover 4 drop show 2.
We'll give you 2 tips here. I would give you cover 4 drop show 2 by default. Call that. You don't need to do anything. That will give you great coverage. I don't go any further than that. That's where you go. That's your home. You could call that every single play of the game, and you should be able to have a somewhat of a good chance of winning against certain people. When you get to a better competition, they'll know specific ways to beat it. But if you want a more advanced for coverage, I really am big on like a big dime.
Yeah.
I'm really big on a soft squat cover 2. So in this instance, it'd be like a Tampa 2 from Big Dime 236. I'm really big on it. And the reason for it is something we talked about on last week's show, but breaking down here, great coverage. From this, what I would want to have you do is put 2 hard flats on both sides of the field.
Okay. So why down on the right stick?
Nope. I want you to stay
with the soft squats on the outs, or stay with the
quick audible right. Just hit quick audible right. It's so now it's soft squats. It's actually cover 2 stink.
Gotcha.
Which sometimes it's Tampa 2. But put the outside linebackers, they're pass rushing. Put them in hard flats.
These 2 cats.
Yep. Hard flat.
There you go.
And then Suggs on hard flat.
There you go.
Now you need to blitz somebody. So you can blitz Mosley Userum. His first step will be in, which will hurt your coverage a little bit. But you could also blitz. You could say like, okay, I don't worry as much about Allen because I'm worried about the sale concept on the left.
Right.
So you blitz you blitz this guy right here. You blitz Suggs.
Right.
You take away that soft squat or that hard flat on the left, and then you user the middle linebacker in the middle of the field because you want to rush 3 guys. And you don't want your user to be hurt. Mm-hmm. But this type of coverage, I'm really big on it, and I think it's a really effective way to have good coverage this year. You have the soft squats and the hard flat is going to take away the most popular passing concept you're going to see this year, which is sail. You take away a lot of people running outs on the outside. The soft squats are going to take away the outs.
Right.
The soft squats are going to take away corners. Your responsibility from the cover 2 in this instance is to not get beat vertically in the seam.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to worry about.
You give up everything underneath.
Right, and remember, you're asking for about a specific cover style defense. That means rush 3. It means you have the ability on one side to at least have a Mabel. You got a user across the middle, and then you have at least one, potentially 2 other hooks with it. So this is some pretty good defense.
Well, just right here, let me just explain this, right? We just talked about how post is a great play, and my base setup on post. This completely locks it. The only route that really will beat this is the route that cooks.
Right.
Nothing else will be open on this play. Lewis, if you go deep right away, Lewis will be open.
Yeah.
But if you kind of hover under Lewis a little bit, let him run into the vertical, the hook on the left side, and then you drop the cooks, this play is shut down.
So I would use your Allen, come back on Lewis, and then try and get deep to cook there.
That is where you're going to get beat. Right. That is where your responsibility on this play is to always go deep. But when you go back in instant replay, we just talked about how much we love that play out in that scheme. I mean, this would be the starting blueprint to beat it. Look at the right side of the field. Locked. Who are you throwing to? Not throwing to that route over there.
Look how many resources, though, it does take to stop Sale.
Well,
you don't need that guy.
Get rid of the hook.
You don't need that
you don't need the hook. You don't need the hook.
But still.
But the soft squat and the hard flat eat it alive. Now, on the left side of the field, like I said, the route to the halfback, that gets a little sketchy there. He'll beat you. But the corner doesn't get open on the left side, and then you only have to worry about the deep post. The deep post is the last part, and I mean, you have to defend it, right?
Right.
So I would probably say the way you'd set this up is you play go back to the cover 2. So you would take the left slot corner over Hogan. I would man him up on Cooks. Right now, I'd drop the hard flats.
Bam.
And I would user the middle linebacker. So now, with this setup here, you only have to, as long as your slot corner, you have confidence that he's going to hang with him.
Drag angle.
You only have it's a drag.
Drag will run into trouble. Yeah. You got to stop it at first.
Yeah, but your job is to defend Lewis. Take him away. Okay. Like that could beat you, but you have to get that's Cooks on him.
Is deadly.
It's a good route. That's Cooks on him. So you may what you might do is you might man up the weak side hook. There's no setup in there that stop it, but you're getting to see the next level of how do I start stopping all these things? It's a chess match, though.
Chess match. That's a good coverage defense. Remember, if you're new and you've never really played before, the 3-4 odd, cover 4, drop, show 2 should help. It's got the contains, good rush, 3-man. This is the big dime 2-3-6. This is all from the Ravens defensive playbook. Then last week we broke down how to blitz from the Ravens defense 3-3-5. So lots of good stuff there. You can go back, check it out on youtube.com/Sgibs, youtube.com/CFarls. You can find that there. That's a coverage defense. Oh, you only rush 2.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a coverage defense. And then there's blitz defense as well. All right, let's go to the next question in the mailbag. This one is from Pruse3 wants to know tips for beating cover 4. So not necessarily deep backbreaker style routes. We talked a lot about this in the top of the show where we broke down the Patriots posts formation.
Yeah.
We talked about the areas where you beat cover 4. But if you just want to give a couple examples of some areas where you would attack.
If you want to attack a cover 4 and you're not necessarily referencing deep, your best friend is your halfback. I mean, the halfback's your best friend ever, right? We'll show you a couple different tactics of why he could be your best friend ever. So gun split club, one of the most popular plays. Let's go to halfback wheel. If you want to start attacking the cover 4, the first thing you need to do is run these table routes to White here. This route to White is one of the best routes in the game because it beats a lot of zones. See, the zones drift away from it, and you're going to pick up, we said underneath, it's not a big play, but that was 9 yards. If they don't make adjustments to their defense, they don't do anything they call cover 4, which a lot of people will do depending on the level you're at, that route is just going to win. That's the way the game, it's the design, it's the concept that the offense has versus the concept that the defense has. It's not broken coverage. It's not any... It is the design of the way the offense wants to attack the defense, and the defense is not equipped to defend it.
So there's kind of 2 reasons you're going to run into cover 4. Number one, because it to new players, it looks safe. It's like, wow, look at how many zones are on that field. I actually just told new players to play it.
Correct.
And not even do anything, and it's still good.
Right.
Because it's bend but don't break. Then you have really good players, how we just showed you in the Patriots thing, who will say, all right, well, you're gonna call that. I'm gonna do hard flats from there, and then I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna man a guy up. I'm gonna man up the corner route to Gronk. I'm gonna try and stop it there, and you make adjustments. So that's the next level of cover 4, where better players will call it. They'll try and take that away. But once you've at least got them to play a hard flat, you're at least doing much better.
Right.
You're winning that area of the field, and then you can come back and run routes that go the other way.
Sure.
Because they're putting a resource over there.
Sure. Now, the other thing I'm sure people will say about that tip is, well, the formation I like running doesn't have a table route. Okay. Well, if it doesn't have a table route, don't panic. All you need to do, and you can do this on any play in the game, in shotgun, wherever you want. I recommend shotgun. You can put your halfback on an out. So Lewis, I put him on an out, which is coverage audible, and then his icon, which is Y, and then left on the D-pad. For James White, same thing. Coverage audible, RB, and right in the D-pad.
You should have these on so many plays.
Every play.
It's probably the best hot route. It's probably the best hot route in the game.
It's the most important hot route in Madden 18. Most important hot route to have in your offense.
They'll just back up.
I mean, listen, this even works too. This even works too. Oops, crossed up. This even works too. The flares are dynamic. They're
much
very
better
good.
than last year.
Very good. The zones drift. You can catch to get upfield. But the point is this: you want to attack cover 4. It all starts with your halfbacks underneath. Those are the guys that are going to do the work against the cover 4. So watch. I want to attack cover 4. Now see how I can get underneath here and get a couple yards. Now the problem that you run into with cover 4, if on the weak side here, I only have 2 receivers on that side. And that is what's going to allow that quarter flat. It's the quarter flat that gets into trouble for people, because the quarter flat by default, it looks for an immediate threat in the area and says if there's no vertical threat, I will then drop to the flat. And that's what can give people problems. So the recommendation is to always be on the trip side of the field when you throw to the flat, because whatever your route combination is, those routes will have one vertical stem, which then makes that route go downfield, which then will open up your underneath pattern. Make the core flat play vertically downfield first, and then opens up the flat.
All right, so there's a couple other areas you can attack cover 4. We broke them down earlier in the Patriots scheme. Go back on the channel, watch it. Deep crossers that get behind the numbers. So say Gronk was going to come across the field. You would throw to Gronk when he got to the 50 on the left side of the screen. So let's see if we can just give you, I'll put a hard flat to kind of simulate what you would see. And we'll show you, this is the area you want to then look to attack and be cover 4, because vertical's going to run off those 4 deep zones.
Yep.
And then that route's going to come in from the other side of the field, so it's going to get behind the flats. That's another key area you see good players attack and beat cover 4. Lewis's route will keep some of those zones down, and then those other routes can get in behind it.
Yeah, and the important thing to note on this, guys, is these pass leads are down and away to the sideline. So if it's on the left side of the field, I really recommend it like a 7 to like 7:30, like roughly throw to the sideline, and it's using LB. You need to throw a low pass, and I'll try and get the example here the best I can. But if you don't throw a low pass, you run into like that. I caught it, but the safety or the corner is too close. He will burn you. You will throw picks. He will jump in front of the ball, and you will go, that play does not work. Okay, well, what you need to do to remedy that, so you don't have those situations, is you need to throw that down and away pass lead with the left bumper activated. That throws a low ball pass. And then you possession catch. When you do that, you now create a window where that corner, he can't get there. He's not getting there. And now you possession catch it, because you don't ever want to go rack or aggressive in this year's game, currently the way it is, because that gives a little like extra window where the receiver's trying to crank the ball upfield,
right?
So which then like lengthens the extent of where the throw needs to go, which then gives the corner more time to break on the ball.
So then you're going to force them to play hard flats, and you're going to force them to man Gronk up, but then once again Gronk could already be on the corner, and then he would get beat. So like, there's a lot that
it's actually pretty good, right? This is a pretty good play because you can run the same concept on the.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
You see what I'm saying? Like you can run both sides.
Right.
You could run
once
like
they man up
this.
Gronk, then they're in trouble if they don't man up Cooks.
Kind of a help.
Right.
I didn't think that audible was great. But now you have Cooks over there.
He's gonna get open. It gave you a high pass there by accident.
Got it.
Yeah. It's tough for the LB. So that's some areas you can use to attack cover 4, guys. It's a very, very popular defense. We'll continue to go over it as we see more and more of what people are doing, and then the adjustments are making, because we know it's not just stock cover 4 all the time. Once you get into the higher levels, there's users, there's guys getting manned up. So we'll look to cover more and more of that. So make sure to follow the channel. Okay, the next question in the mailbag, this one is coming in from, bam, Incapesh. She wants to know, Mutt 101,
Ooh.
best 3-4 outside linebackers. So let's go over to Mutthead real quick. We actually picked out some of our favorite 3-4 linebackers. And really, you have to consider, like, what do you want the linebacker to do? So there's 4 different types of linebackers, 5 different types of outside linebackers. You have a user guy, which basically is tall and speed. Anthony Barr, great example for $14K. It's amazing. Go get one. Tremendous.
As a
good
great
speed,
user, yeah, very good.
Good hit power, good height. You use him, you run all over the field. He makes great interceptions. Lamar Houston, he's an example of like an edge setting, Terrell Suggs, James Harrison type of strong, good block shed. Not quite the fastest, but he's going to hang in there, be pretty tough. Yeah, he can drop in his zone if you need him to, but really his best thing he's going to do is set the edge, hold up tough, and he's one guy you could do for that. Then the other type is then a guy like Nick Perry, who still has pretty good block shed, but he's not quite as strong as Houston, but he's a better pass rusher, 85 power move, and some good speed.
A little more versatility with
Yeah, a little faster, a little quicker. Then you got a guy like Bradham, who is kind of a mixture, but has very, very good zone coverage. So guys like KJ Wright in the past, they've excelled, and now they cost even more. But 84 zone coverage, so you drop him on the edge, and then you would want him to drop into zone coverage as much as possible.
And his weak spot will be his ability to pass rush. Like he's good in playing the run support, he's good in coverage, but he's not a great pass rusher.
Right, definitely. And then the last guy is Bud Dupree. He's similar to Barr because he's tall and fast, but he can also... he's just he's a speedier guy, right? You can't necessarily afford...
He's the value guy in this, right? Like, if you look at the bar, he's $14K. That's, you're getting up there in some of those prices. When you look at a guy like Bud Dupree, he can kind of be your user guy for a good value.
The other role, and it's not necessarily going to come as much from outside linebacker as it is from middle linebacker with guys like Buchanan, Deion Jones, I think Mark Barron is somewhere in there.
Team of the week, TJ Watt's very good.
They're speed guys that can play man coverage, so you would man them up. So if you're playing like 2 linebackers and you play man coverage, you'd man one up and you'd user the other. That's a role for that type of player. Telvin Smith is good in that role. Sean Lee's more of a zone guy. You'd have, if you were playing a lot of zone where you're dropping those guys, fanning them out, Bradham would be a guy that would drop into zone. Houston would be a run stuffer. Barr's a user. Perry's a pass rusher. It really depends on the role for your 3-4 lineup, what you want to do with those linebackers.
Give me a quick look on Mudhead here on Telvin Smith. Just I haven't looked at him yet, and I know I really liked last year. It was the 85 Telvin. He remained as like one of the best coverage linebackers, I think, all the way through like the Man Championship.
So Telvin Smith flies in at 82 speed. He's got 82 zones, 78. Now he's 150K, but you get good hit power, you get good block shed. His strength is very, very low. So that's kind of the one weakness. But as long as you play him in coverage, you should, almost like a Derek Brooks type.
That like when you looked at last year, that his base like speed and man coverage. I think his man coverage last year was like 79. And it literally was one of the highest man coverage linebackers throughout the whole course of the year.
Yeah.
So a lot of value here. He's obviously 150K.
So if you check below, I'll put a link in the description of this video where I'll send you to my budget sheet. There's a guy on the Giants who's actually pretty decent cover linebacker. There's some good guys on the Seahawks. I think Dewey McDonald. Guys that can play coverage they're fast. They're not very highly rated in man, but they're fast enough. If you're good, you can get them in certain areas where they play really well. Jalen Smith, Cam Track. Yep.
There's that Kerry Gagram Hill guy, however you say it.
Gruger Hill.
That guy's really
good. Those are some guys that will work for you. So we'll continue to add to our budget sheet as time goes on, but that's some good stuff.
Well, real quick. So there's a difference here. So I see Brett Cole in the chat. What up, my guy? I see a couple people saying love me some Brett Cole. He's saying that Telvin Smith not a 3-4 linebacker. That's not necessarily true. If you look at it in the traditional sense, sure, okay, I get it. But if you look at the way you want how you want to play a 3-4, you could use him for just coverage purpose and never rush him.
Right.
And then he fits that bill, and then you get the opposite side linebacker, and then you always rush him. So, I mean, he could play the role. His role isn't to be an edge setter. His role isn't to be a pass rusher. His role is to play run support and be in coverage.
Yeah.
So don't say he's not a 3-4 linebacker. say he's not a pass rusher and he is not a whatever. Like, put him in the role that makes him play well, which is in coverage and in run support.
Yep. Same thing. One reason we really like Bruce Irvin, which let me just find him on the screen for you. He's always kind of got the speed. He can actually rush the passer a little bit. Plus, he can play zone, and then he actually has really good block shed. Yeah. Now he's not an edge setter because he doesn't have good strength, but he's got enough block shed that it's not going to be a big deal.
Right.
And then his pass rush gets up pretty good. So that's why Bruce Irvin's always kind of been a mad sleeper.
What's good about the Irvin is he's a set it forget it player. Yeah. There's always those type of guys, right? Like, you could put him on as a defensive end or outside linebacker.
You pay a little extra.
You pay a little extra for him, but you don't have to sub him in and out for certain guys for certain situations. You could just leave him there, and he's good in everything. Like you said, the one weakness he'll have is he might get blown off the run a little bit because of his strength factor, but his block shed is going to kind of counter some of that. But his one weakness is his strength. Every player, for the most part, will have a weakness, though.
For sure. Okay, let's jump into some Team of the Week here.
74.
This is a little extension of the Ultimate Team 101 that we do on this channel. Team of the Week, LaShawn McCoy and Calais Campbell are the guys. I've got a couple guys I like on defense, Sgibs. Offensively, this LaShawn McCoy. I think he's very, very good. Two things I will say. Number one, the 87 Barry, if you upgraded your GOAT, he's not that far off from the McCoy. Mm-hmm. I didn't initially want to get the Barry because I wanted to get the McCoy.
Yeah.
But now that McCoy's got a second one, but Barry got a second one, it's like, well, Barry's pretty close. LaShawn's 500K right now, so I like the Barry. And then if you dig into Cohen.
Yeah, Cohen's good.
He athletically is he actually one faster speed than McCoy.
He's the dude.
He has the same agility. Now everything else is 17 points less. Catching traffic, 17 less. Route running, 17 less. Spec catch, 17 less. Elusive, like 17 less. So he's not as good, but he's
tremendous for his
Darren Sproles' height.
What's his
super
cost?
Agile.
What's his coin cost?
Pennies.
Pennies.
That's
why.
15K.
I mean, how much?
He's like 15K.
15.
I think so.
So that will come down.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
You know, once next week happens. But
so all the TWIM guys go get him.
Yeah, but this guy is tremendous for. Think about like if you have a very good team, he's still a lot of value for special teams. Could be value for a gun 2 back, right? You get 2 backs out there.
Yeah.
But he's a really good back, good speed. He reminds me a lot of like people like Latavius Murray because he was a kind of a faster, bigger back. Like this guy's gonna be a very fast, shifty back. Great value for your team.
So I like it. Alex Smith, I like that he's all in the 80s, but I think the 82 throw power is a little bit low. Yeah. Thielen is pretty balanced, and in the future he could continue to get good. He's pretty rock solid in the 80s across the way. Like if you look at like an Aguilar, it's like he's not even close because look at he's in the low 60s
where catching traffic is so low.
Thielen's in the you might say, well, he's faster, but like Thielen's closer.
Thielen is trending to be a very dominant player this year. Because like Nelson Aguilar, if you look at his ratings again,
he can never make that up. He needs 20 items.
He needs so many items to become good. Where Thielen needs like 2-3 more.
Yeah.
2-3 more, and Thielen's up there. And same thing goes for LaShawn McCoy.
Oh
like
my gosh.
Like that McCoy.
Yeah.
Like you really want that McCoy to have a couple good more weeks, right? Like,
so that's what I like on offense. Defensively, same thing. Tremaine Johnson Gibbs. This is a guy who is now on the right path, right? It's always like how many Team of the Weeks can you get if you're Tremaine Johnson? So he's 85 speed, so that's going to keep trending. He's 6'2". He's balanced the man in zone, and his hit power's already 78, and he's a corner.
Right.
So, Tremaine Johnson, you are now on the right track.
You got to think if he gets 2 more Team of the Weeks or whatever,
you'll be
you're going to look at his speed will now be
89,
like 87,
91.
88,
Yeah. So really like Tremaine Johnson as like I don't necessarily love this one. It's very good,
right?
But I like what it sets up for the future. Mosley,
I love Mosley.
It's pretty good.
The
He'll be a little bit faster. But
he's fine, but his role is that you want him to be a inside run stuffer. I would probably play him at the defensive end and then drop into coverage because he's got great block shed and like that 89 block shed's good value there. That's good value. You're gonna have to pay for.
Campbell's a little slow. I think you either you get your Twitch Prime Reggie White, you slide him into DT, or you go for the Mean Joe.
You got to put him at D tackle
because he's gonna cost a lot. That's a lot of coins though for a master.
You can't put him at the end. No. I don't think it's gonna hurt you too much if you have to drop him in the zone.
TJ Watt, I'll just call him out because I think he's got back to back team of the weeks.
He's a very good player.
And he was one of the legacy guys, the loyalty guys. So he's pretty ferocious.
How's
he's getting
Shaq
up
Barrett?
there.
He's notoriously good coverage.
He's usually Shaq usually has a decent like rush move. I don't
Yeah,
think he quite started
don't
there.
love it.
There's not a ton of
EJ Gaines. He could be. Is he?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. 85, but
Yeah,
but this is the man zone's too low once you get down in there. So those are the dudes that I would look to. Oh, this one other player here, I would say you could check out. So Corey Moore.
Yeah.
So for salary cap folks, last week I sent you guys. I said, hey, you got to check out TJ Green and you got to check out Lonnie Valentine. Those are your salary cap safeties.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's still true because guys are noticing how important zone coverage is. But Corey Moore is not quite as good as Green or Valentine, but he's not as
Still 6'2".
So he has 65 zone coverage, where the other two guys have 58. The other two guys will have 85 speed. He's at 83, and they have the big hitter trait, and he doesn't. But he's very similar to those two guys.
He's that mold.
Yeah, if you had him, if you have those three dudes as your safeties, you're looking pretty good.
Yep.
In a salary cap situation. So check that out.
I mean, my biggest mover though, you gotta go Cohen. I think that's the biggest value.
Oh yeah, you go get this guy.
He's the guy that you go get for team of the week for this week. IMO. In my opinion, that's the guy. That is a dynamic player.
All right, a little mutt segment here over on This Week in Madden.
I tell you what, the Cohen, he's trending there too because he's already at the top end of speed.
Yeah.
So if he keeps doing well, you're gonna see him as like the guy that has like he's the speed. Who does he remind you of from last year? Like Tevin Coleman, he could play that Tevin Coleman role for this year for like salary cap rosters. What was Cohen's
Melvin Phone was very good too, can do for sure.
Cohen's salary cap is
he's pretty low.
32, not terribly high.
I compared him to Barry and LaShawn, it's not bad.
Correct, right.
49, so cool. As long as he doesn't fumble, and he braces against big hits. Right. How much that matters, we'll see. Yeah. All right, next question in the mailbag. Like I said, that's it for the mutt portion, but we'll dig in more. Bam. Let's see it. Okay, Deadly Vino Gibbs, he needs it. He needs help scoring inside of the 10-yard line. You got a little play for him. Our people are struggling in the red zone. What do we have? What do we think we can...
Sure. Let's move the rock up. The red zone, very difficult to score in.
High points last year were the way to go. This year, maybe not as much. People maybe not quite throwing them. If you had, kind of one play on the line, what would you go with?
I like to still go with the high point in the back of the end zone.
You like the edge of the world dance.
I like the edge of the world dance. But let me show you this out of single back wing pair. This is a similar formation to the gun wing pair in the Seahawks playbook, and it's the same routes, so it actually works pretty well here. So what I like about this is you get a couple end of the world routes, and you force a couple things that your opponent does. Number one, you force a hard flat. You're probably going to have a hard flat.
Right.
Because
there's no point in having anything
We'll call
else.
it spade a spade. They're probably going to have a hard flat.
Right.
But say they don't. Go cover 3 Mabel for me real quick. Say they don't and just get cloud flats out there, whatever. So cover 3 Mabel and just get cloud flats out there. Seam flat, just hit cover double up. Perfect, thank you. So say they don't have them out there, right? This route to Cardona on the edge is a snap. The flat was there, whatever. I think it was a curl flat, now they're cloud flat, but that's fine. But the point is this: if they were to blitz, if they're in a blitzing defense, that would probably be the better example. That's a snap throw. Like you better have a guy out there, man to man. No, because he's manned up. So just go to cover 3 real quick. Just blitz the appropriate guys. That's cover 2.
Let's see where we're at here.
And just blitz Webb. Yeah. So the idea is this: if they don't have a route over there to defend it, that's an option. Cardona doesn't have stone hands,
I
but
think he's a long snapper.
that's the purpose of what that is there for.
Mm-hmm.
Now the next thing off this, I want to go to Gronkowski or Allen. What ends up happening is your opponent has to now decide which one they want to go to. So if you bail and break on Allen, I now have Gronk right over the middle of the field, late from the cut, and then you get him a high point pass. That's going to happen. But when you go back to the well on this, you end up reaping
it's hard to use her too because he gets really deep. It's not like a short one where you can get underneath with Moses. Like it's really hard to walk that tightrope on the back,
right,
on that back line with Gronk.
even if you do user it, you still can throw it, and they have to be in a perfect position. So now, here's what happens. If now you go user Gronk in this instance, I now have Allen who's going to run the back of the world route, right? He gets there, and he's right there. He's back of the world.
It's like a trail.
Correct. I need a taller guy there. Allen's not the dude. He's not tall enough to animate there. But the idea is you have now 2 routes that are really difficult for them to get in that deep part of the field, and that's what I want to stress about what I like about this play, because you get 2 options, and then of course you have the underneath drag if all else fails.
You smart route those or no?
Don't smart route them. I just let them run deep in the end zone there. So that's the idea. Is you just kind of read where they went, and then you just throw to the other guy that's not there.
Let me try and user one on Gronk.
Okay.
I just want to.
It's a lot easier to user this year.
Yeah.
It really is.
Remember, high point is LB, and then up on the D-pad. So, or up on the left stick. So you're LB, and then you up on the left stick. Make sure you don't down on the left stick. You'll be in big trouble.
See, even you're using it, but you still aren't able to get there in time because it gets on you there. And let's not forget, you also have this route here too. Like if they do vacate that part of the field, like
oh yeah, right underneath, because if they back up too far, that's where
Correct.
you expect to see those routes come in. Now, question: do you aggressive catch it? Do you just let the computer catch it? Do you possession catch it?
I just throw a high point and let the computer.
Be careful to possession catch it, because sometimes if you throw a high point and you
that's the animation you want. That if you get that animation, you threw it right.
Yeah, that's
on the RB route.
If you go to possession and it's a high point, like in the seam a lot, like you won't get the animation. You got to go aggressive. I find. So
right there.
That's the one you want. Try that out. Look for routes that go to that back end zone, then high point them. Those are pretty good.
I'll give you another example. Like, so you see these routes. We'll show you another one right here. Shout out to D-Stew, right? So if you go right here, you go to, where is it? You go tight slots, right? And then this play right here, wide flood and tight slots. It's the same idea as what we had. So if you take a look at the route that Cooks isn't the guy because he's not tall, but it's the same idea, same with the Gronk route. They're going to get to the end of the world. They're going to run the end of the world route, and then you throw them the ball.
Yeah.
I will say you got to be very careful that the route doesn't stem too far. You have to get into practice mode and try these, because this route looks like it's stemming out of bounds. Like he runs it here, and like I think he stepped out of bounds, and now that's illegal touching. That's why I like the other play better. The other play, the guy doesn't. They don't run out of bounds. Some of these dragon routes, they run out of bounds this year. So just keep that in mind.
So that's an area you can definitely attack.
See, Gronk runs out of bounds there too. So that's not a great play, but it's the same idea.
The other thing I do is you said inside the 10, right? So if I'm at the 8, I like to run the ball to get to the 4.
Yeah.
So that I can call this play.
Right.
If if I'm at the 5 or in, I know I can scramble in with the quarterback up the middle, like pretty quickly. But I know if I'm at the 8, I can't scramble because the zones will like run away.
Right.
So those are little tricks and tactics. Like scoring in the red zone is just trinkets. It's nothing real. Like, yeah, you can schematically win in the red zone with a flat, like, but it's more just having little like things you can get away with and do. Like, that's what I find the easiest way to score in the red zone is getting comfortable in a playbook. That's what goes away from me when I go to a new playbook. Worse than anything else is just scoring in the red zone.
I'm telling you, this play, if you, if you're in Seattle offense, I know a lot of guys are that are watching this show because we speak so highly of it. Seattle has the same play in their playbook. It's just in the gun formation, which actually makes it better because you can run a little bit better from it. So it's really good. It's a really good way. It's really hard for them to defend all of it, right? Like it's really difficult.
All right, Gibbs. Question here.
Yep.
What virtual player is the best player in Madden? I've got a
Madden
question.
18?
Yeah, I got one. This is what the community's saying. Earl Thomas.
That's what they're saying.
Earl Thomas with the new zones. Players are saying that guys with 91 zone.
David Johnson.
Some are saying 90 zone. Some are saying a combo.
Yeah.
Some are saying an average rating of 90 zone and 90 playback. Some guys are saying 91 zone. But that is what people are focused on. The Earl Thomas jumping those routes. Like he'll break potentially on some of the backbreakers.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think that is huge?
I mean, if that is what people are finding, and if that becomes the meta, that's cool because then you need to get 90 zone guys out there in position. So
and that's why I think you can flip like the TJ Green and the Valentine.
Right.
Those guys will go away because that's too valuable to not have those deep zones to be able to defend The Patriots have 2 guys, I think, too.
They do. McCourty and Gilmore, Butler. Let's look at this real quick with the Ravens. Let's put the theory to test because I think Weddle has.
Weddle might have 90 or 91.
Yeah. So Weddle, his zone coverage, he's probably
got high play rec too.
Probably. Good.
A lot of variables here. We're gonna have to get our lab coach.
So he's 93.
Lab.
So he's 93.
Yeah.
He's 93 zone. So let's just do this. Let's go. I'll attack a corner on you.
Where do we want Weddle? Like we want him in a. He's on the left side.
Get Weddle on the right side corner, out number 24.
So where 24 is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just put anyone there. It's 22. No.
I swapped them. They should go.
No.
You want them on the left, right?
No, I want them where 24 was. 24 was on the far right.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Stage right. Stage right. Hey man.
Sometimes, man, I don't know about you.
Nah, I wasn't messing with you at all.
Okay, so what do you want? Cover 4? We want to cover 4? Is that what we want?
Is that what we want?
Because he's in the deep zone. Is that the situation? So let's go. Let's just go here. Run this. Let's see what happens. So here's Weddle. Well, cover seams. Get the cover seam out of there. Get the seam out. Yeah.
Okay.
Naturally.
Got him.
Get the seam flat. Okay.
I'm on him.
Let's see how he does out there.
Yeah, he broke early.
Yeah, he broke on him, so that's good. So that's
some people are saying he might not be able to be out of position.
That's fine.
But we'll see.
That's fine. Let's see.
Broken that pretty good.
That's good.
And this.
Yeah, he's breaking on that. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good. Okay.
So he's 94.
He's 93 zone.
93.
So give me. Let's go on the. Oh, this is why I wanted to run this. So we got the other guy on the other side. We know he's nowhere near
Carr.
as good.
Yeah, he doesn't have.
So get the slot corner out.
But it's also Allen, who's not as good either. So it would be interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Doesn't play it.
Okay. I got one more test.
Okay.
So let's see.
All right, we should try and see. Do we have any 99? We don't have any 90/90s, but this is all the debate. This is all worth looking into. These are the little numbers. This is what makes MUT so good and so important. Is you can find those.
This is literally what makes Madden fun. Stay in that same formation.
Okay. You want the left side?
I want the same formation. I want them in that. I want them on the right side. Cover 4.
Got it.
Let's see. Yeah, that's tremendous.
Wow.
That's tremendous. Let me try that one more time. That's great, because now what's good about that, what's never been this way is like it forces you to have certain guys in certain spots, so that it changes your scheme. I love it. That's great. Let's try one more time. Just play hard flats for me. I just want to see if that, like, yeah, do that. Let's see. Oh, he breaks. That's tremendous. That's tough.
You gotta find some guys. So Earl Thomas is
Very
an example. I think the Pats have 2 guys. Eric Weddle's good, obviously. Now you gotta check the ratings in MUT, and obviously the ratings will continue to progress as the season goes on. Obviously they can continue to tune zone coverages. But that's a potential meta changer where we talked about those budget safeties earlier. Well, not if you're going to get reactions like that from defenders. That's a place now you want to spend because that can take away, that can almost help you have another complete other zone. You know what I mean? Like now you don't need another zone on there. So,
yeah. Well, right. You don't now. Well, you need a different type of corner in that spot, like a sharper corner.
Yeah.
This is like a very elongated corner out. See, that was what I was thinking would still work. If you get, so here's the thing on the flip side. What I would try and do offensively is I would try and get see if I put a really fast guy Hogan there, or not Hogan, but like is he gonna get downfield a little bit quicker, and is he going to then, or my route combination, whatever I have under here, is that going to affect what I have downfield? Just make sure you play hard flats.
Yeah, but I mean, at least he is breaking.
He's breaking. He's definitely breaking.
I could, especially if you click on it. All right, so ratings matter. That's important. Keep an eye on that. Keep testing. Keep tracking. We'll look to get you some updates on players that will meet those, and we'll see more and more as the season goes on what defenses improve because of that. All right? let's keep going through the mailbag here. Got a couple minutes left on the mailbag portion before we get into the gameplay. Remember, we do your questions, we go over MUT, we lab, we do Scheme of the Week, which was the Pats, and then we do the Game of the Week. OS. Oh, so he wants to know the best I-form scheme. So the Falcons have a bunch of I-form. You like the I-form tight, you like the I-form close. I know Zan had some stuff out last year with some different I-form formations. Some of the playbooks don't even have it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you like specifically?
I do. It actually is in the Seattle Seahawks playbook. I think it's just a tremendous book. But the idea here, we can show you some of that I-form tight. What you really need as a base for, I think, to run a good I-form is you need a halfback lead, or like an ISO, something that runs like directly in the interior of the formation, and then you need a stretch. It's very important to have the stretch because the stretch opens up the rest of your offense. It's a very difficult run to stop. So in this instance, a lot of runs, quick audibles and I-form in this year's game are stretches. You actually have a lot of I-forms that give you both the ISO and the stretch. So that's a kudos if you get it. In this instance, we don't. We have a couple pass plays. So that kind of hurts the Patriots book. But what's good about like this eye tight is you could do this. Like you motion Cooks here, right? So I get Cooks in motion. Okay, now one play I snap. I'm essentially creating goal line stretch, right? Okay, so that was one play. Now the next thing I would do is I would now playmaker the run left, right? And now I take Cooks and I motion him off the edge. I don't snap it. I wait to snap it. And now I can run the stretch off the opposite edge, right? So now you get into this game of motion. Is it run left, run right? You could call ISO, run that ball right up the middle of the field there as well.
Spread out.
Okay? And then off of that, you then have some passing plays you want to work in. So here's I tight. Let's see what one I like the most. Probably the PA tight end corner.
Like check the Falcons, but they have the most. They've got some good plays. The tight end corner's good.
So I like tight end corner because it gives you a table to the half, and it's the same stuff everywhere you go, guys. Right? Like you run the same stuff. So this instance, you go like this, right? Motion Cooks, snap it still in the same spot, run that play action, and now you're just running. You're running half. Like, you have to think of it. You're running halfback wheel, but from I-form tight. Like that's what this is. If you really break down the routes on this play. The only one you don't have is the route to Lewis, which would be a wheel, right? Like that's the only thing that's different about when you really break it down what these routes are. And you also don't have the slant. You'd have to put Cooks on a slant there. But you get the table route right there, underneath corner. You got a post. So there's a lot you can do. But I think it starts with making sure you have an ISO, a halfback dive right at the middle, and then also having a stretch to really be able to run the ball.
I love it. All right, 2 questions I saw in the chat real quick. Miller Light asked how to not turn around when you get an interception. Just wait until the camera flips. Like you'll start to get timing and you'll figure it out. You'll figure out when, like, because I do it a lot. I press Y and then I end up hurtling while the camera's turning. Yeah. And you lose momentum. But just be patient. You'll figure out the timing. It's a little bit different than it's been. Oren asked how to score within the 15. We just did a play about how to score within the 10, within the 5. If you're within the 15, you want to get into the area of the 7 and closer where you have those one-off trinket plays. So you want to either run the ball, scramble the quarterback to get in, hit the flat. Don't treat the 15 like you're in the red zone because the Madden red zone is much tighter. It's like 10 yards and in. It's not necessarily 15.
Right.
If you're 22 yards, if you're between the 22 in like the 24 to the 19. Backbreaker, Z-spot post backbreaker, out routes to get down to the 10 so that you can then use those trinket plays. There's no really, like 15 yards and in isn't really a thing. Don't treat that differently until you get in even tighter. And we just showed you how to play those.
Oh.
All right, next question in the mailbag. Keep flying through these. Is it worth it to pass commit versus 5 wide receivers? Yeah, so Gauntlet, so I think what Gauntlet is thinking is, like, gives motion. Call the plays you showed earlier from the Pats where you motioned out Dion Lewis.
Yeah.
Remember when you?
Yeah.
So do that. So I think what the question is like, well, do I even need to, because my defense clearly knows that it's 5 wide, so it's not a run play. So do they just play great? But you still have to do it. And how you pass commit is hold down on the left trigger, flip the right stick up. So the minute you motion Dion Lewis, I know that it's a run play. Because I know it's not a run play. Because if it was a run play, they wouldn't let you motion Dion Lewis. So the minute I see him go out, I pass commit every time. Every time. Even though it's a 5-wide set, and you might say, oh, well, my guys just will know, and they'll automatically do it. But they don't. So you have to do it, and then they'll drop across, and you can hopefully defend it. But you do still need to pass commit. I recommend anytime you do know it is a pass play, you pass commit. Because you just get into your drops a little bit better. I'll show you real quick the difference.
Yeah, I want to give a good visual representation. Yeah. I got a great way to show it to you. So we're going to come out and gun bunch here. This is the best way to see the difference and how important pass committing is in slowing down people that like to pass the ball. So I don't care what play you come out in. It doesn't not really important to me too much. But let's just come out in Pats verts. Okay. So what do I say is the staple of what I like to have my staple offense be this year? What's the staple? Halfback on out. Far left receiver out, and then I don't worry about the rest of the routes, right? Like I'll change them up, whatever it is. So give me a cover 3. Just give me standard cover 3.
Okay.
Let me just see what it looks like. Okay, great. So watch what this. Don't pass commit. Don't do anything. Just run it the way it is.
Okay.
When motion Cooks out. Okay. Take a look at how wide open Cooks is. Right.
Yes.
How wide open he is. Let's go instant replay just to show everyone how wide open he is.
In case you missed it.
So.
Cook. Too bad he didn't get this open last Thursday. Am I right?
So, yeah. First game. So first and foremost, the reason I say that this should be the staple of a gun bunch offense this year, because it forces your opponent to do one thing. It forces them to pass commit every single down, which can help open up the run. So that's why I like that as a tempo for my offense. So here's the cover 3 that you just called with no pass commit. Notice how, look at the defenders. Look at 21, right? Where's his first step?
Lazy.
No.
Inside.
First step is inside, right? Because he's reading the play. What is it? Oh, and then look, no one's out there. He's too late. He's not getting out there. Okay? All right. Now, cover 3. Give me a cover 3. Now, give me a pass commit.
L trigger, flick up on the right stick.
Now, the difference here, sometimes if baseline, we'll test it here real quick. But with
still press,
with a baseline, it'll make sure he doesn't. So, don't do it yet, but right here, so he gets out wide. We're gonna show it to you in a second. Let me see. Let's go here. Actually, I know what I want the defense to show it for you. So go here. Go to call cover 4 or call 4-4 cover 3.
Okay.
That's a tough example because of the alignment. So let me just go here. All right. So give me a pass commit.
Okay. L trigger. On the right stick.
Okay. And let's see. This motion Cooks out. See how he's now out there? Yep. He still completed it, but he gets out there. Actually, give me a hard flat too. Let me see what the zone. Let's see what zone it is. Give me hard flats. Pass commit. All right. Let's see.
Oh wow.
Okay. That's the difference. Okay. So it must be with the hard flat, and that's why you allow. That's why you figured it out. Now here's
hard flat, no pass commit. I guarantee he's not going to run out there. Remember, we broke down how to stop the jailbreak screen.
Oh, he did run. He did sprint up. Okay, so maybe you don't need to pass commit there. Maybe it's just a hard flat.
Perhaps.
I thought it was
you still want to
the
do
longest
it against
time. So the longest time, this whole year, I actually thought it was you had a pass commit, but it is hard flat. It's a hard flat. That's fantastic.
So hard flats that are inside.
So it's just a hard flat will scream out. Yeah.
Wow.
So
this is a live lab.
Wow. My mind is blown because I thought that was a pass commit the whole time. And you know what? That's what you have to go in and lab the situation. I was just that confident that it was.
So let me pass commit.
Doesn't matter.
See if he runs even faster.
Let's see.
I don't think he does. And then you would be susceptible. Nope. Still good against 5 wide. You do want your guys to drop.
It's just a hard flat. It's literally just a hard flat. That's fantastic.
Hard flats are good.
Go. Give me. Is it curl flat? Is it just stock curl flat?
Yeah.
Pass commit for me again.
Okay.
Let's just see what it looks like. Okay. Okay. So we saw what that looked like. Now just
didn't chuck, but
yeah. So just stay.
Stay. No pass commit.
No pass commit. Just organic. he was way later.
Yeah.
It took him way longer.
Yeah.
So you need a hard flat. So the purpose of that whole example that we just throw it out the window is that I was under the impression that pass committing made him jet out. So that's why it was important to pass commit. But that's actually not the case. You just need a hard flat.
Yeah. But against 5 wide, you always want to pass commit, unless you think it's QB draw. But you always want to pass commit. It's more about having dudes in the box because you want that extra step backwards and a little bit of a bonus.
Yeah.
Anytime they motion the halfback away, you know, or they change the side or they do whatever, like you know that they then can't run it because the game wouldn't let them motion that guy if it was a run. So something to consider there. All right, next mailbag question is from, let's find it, Con Moyer. Gibbs, he is a new player. He likes how much detail we go into.
Yep.
He says, what's the difference between sets in a formation? So he basically says, like,
yep,
you have not necessarily the packages, but like
single back wing pair, ace overload.
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit of that, like just receivers moving kind of across the area. Like, why is this good?
So there's two different things. One is personnel. It really is about personnel. That's the 90% of it. It's personnel. So if you come out in this example, wing pair, you're running a 1 receiver, 3 tight end look.
Yes.
With that 1 halfback. That's what this formation is.
3 tight ends on the right, you got
Right.
the halfback, and then you got a receiver.
Well, when you really break it down, okay, say, well, why would I want to do that? Okay, well, the purpose of that is that you will overload the defense with bigger body players, and you'll be able to run the ball, and if you have the right athletic type tight ends, you can still pass the ball really well. This is where Mutt becomes really fun, because you can get Rob Gronkowski, Kelsey, I was going to say Tony Eifert, Tyler Eifert out on the field, right? So you can have all great tight ends that can run block, but also are dynamic in the passing that are almost like wide receivers. So that's where the purpose of these formation sets are. The other one is to get your players into specific parts of the field to change like the concepts that you can run. So for example, if I were, let's do this. Like if I were to go to like a standard gun doubles, okay?
Yeah.
Well, if I were to run this formation, on the right side of the field, I can really flood zones really well.
Because you have 3 dudes.
Because I have 3 receivers, so that gives me 3 resources to flood a zone. And a great way to flood zone is a vertical, a corner, and a flat. On the left side of the field, it's a lot harder to do that because there's only 2 receivers over there. So what ends up happening is the way they break the formations down, like the purpose of moving guys around is, okay, now I'm going to move the halfback to the left. I'm still in the same personnel grouping, same players,
right,
but I'm going to move the halfback left. It still looks the same, but now I can get the halfback onto that left flat a little bit quicker, and now I can attack on the left side of the
field. So show me
field.
a play that would flood a zone from the 4th set, doubles, and then show me a play, don't even have to go into it, but
sure.
And then show me a play that would flood it potentially from...
Like Z-spot. Z-spot is going to flood on the right because you had a corner, a halfback table route, halfback to the flat, and then you would hot route that far right receiver to a vertical.
The blue route to a streak. So that would flood the right, and then you go to the formation next to it, which you can quickly audible to in the game. Gronk drops off the line a little bit, but now you have a play like switch fork. You'd streak the outside left guy if you wanted, or you could leave him on that deep post. Pretty good route. That's going to flood zone to the other side, and it's very, very similar. Same players, just the halfback moves.
Let's get this one thing, like, okay, when you look at football and the way that they are creating plays. What was one thing I said earlier about I-form tight? Really what it comes down to is you run the same concept from every formation, right? Mm-hmm. But you're just changing up the alignment and the personnel.
Inside cross mesh, boom, that's a slot receiver and a tight end.
In a Z-spot.
But you see that with the 2 tight ends all
Correct.
the time.
Absolutely.
You see that from the halfback
right.
sometime.
So what teams do when you really break, like if you look at game film, if you go in on Sundays, we use NFL Rewind, right? And you watch what teams do. What they do is they'll take one concept and then they disguise that concept from multiple looks. So like I said, you could run gun split close, halfback wheel, okay? From a gun split look, you get 3 receivers out there, 2 backs. Okay, well then you're just going to drop down to I tight. We just said look. This is the example.
Then you run X under.
Gun split close, right? So I want to run halfback wheel. The routes on that play: a post, table route, corner route, and then the deep in. I'm going to change it to a vertical, okay? That halfback wheel, remember those routes, okay? Now I go back to eye tight. Different personnel, different groupings. It's a run-oriented style. I want to run that same passing concept. PA tight end corner. Look at the routes. It's the same concept. I want to attack the flat, the corner, the vertical, and the post.
They have single back ace deuce close.
No, ace close.
Ace close?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Trying to see if they got anything similar. Even in that, like even in a set like that.
Well, I mean, you can find it everywhere, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's go to. You don't have a post.
They have tight slots.
Well, let's go ace slot, like
Yeah.
right here, right? I bet. Let's see if we have something similar to. Sort of slot out, sort of. It doesn't. You don't like.
It's not a corner. It's
You
a deep
can't
out.
do it in Madden, obviously, because you can't make routes. Like you can't make posts and corners, so you can't like make everything perfect. But let's take a look at this right here. Like, let's take a look. So halfback wheel. Not really, but you can make that same concept everywhere, basically. Though, like that's the whole the point of what we're saying here. Like for example, you go to a slot offset. I want to run level sail. Okay. The strength of this is the corner and the halfback table. Okay, that's the strength of that. It's concept is disguised now when I go back over to right here and I go to Z spot, remember? That concept is now just in a different formation. It's disguised there. You're still running virtually the same thing. On the left side of the field, you have a deep in. I could drag the slot in the far left, vertical the far right, and now I have the same concept going. I run on levels, like that's what it boils down to. So just keep that in mind. We got a little deep there, but it's fun.
Yeah, no, that's what this player's looking for. He wants to get better. He likes when we get deeper
Hopefully that
into
helps.
to stuff. Hopefully that will help you improve your game. If you have any other specific questions, let us know. We even have, this is the 238th episode, so we've gone over stuff like this in different Maddens year over year over year. We tell you what a mesh does. We tell you all the time. It works. It works every year. Yeah, the game will play slightly differently, but like there's always things that work. There's always things you want to do. And so when you learn that stuff, you get so much better at the beginning of the next year. You learn it, you invest the time in one Madden, and then you get so much better every Madden in the future.
Right. That base understanding of how to attack zone, I would say that's the most important thing I think we've ever probably, like, when it comes to talking about Madden tips, like, that's probably the most important thing you could ever know. Corner, vertical, flat.
Bam.
Like, that one mindset changes the whole entire way you're going to play the game.
Makes
the
your
way you
opponent-
see the game.
Makes your opponent have to make adjustments,
Right.
and stock coverages, you'll start beating them. You'll start just killing the computer. All right, next question in the mailbag. 2 more to go here. 1 more to go here. How to stop zone runs like the halfback
Wham.
Ham
Yep.
Pagusis.
Yeah, to this is a good question. To actually tell you what, I got in the lab this weekend before the hurricane came,
Yeah.
and I actually found a good play. It was not from 3-4 Predator, it was 3-4 Bear. And then I also want to shout out to Hold Fast Hope and M-Stack. They continued to lab it later with a different setup. Theirs is from Cover 3, so if you want to learn more about what they're doing, reach out to them. But what I would do from this is it was the Cover 2 invert, and it's specifically for deuce close halfback wham. We don't have it here, so it's difficult to show. But I wanna give you something the best we can.
Do we have Owen Trap?
Yeah, we have an 0-1 trap.
Basically, zone blocking. They almost let a guy in free, but another guy kind of picks
Okay,
him up.
so do this for us. Base a line,
Okay. Y right on the
crash the
D-pad.
line down,
LB,
and just use her weddle
right
for me.
stick down.
Just use her in the back, like. The idea is this safety here. I think it's Jefferson. Click onto him, please. Jefferson, don't move him, but Jefferson, he shoots the gap against halfback wham. I don't know if he will do it against 0-1 trap. We have a specific 0-1 trap he will show you.
And you can see as assignment press R trigger and then circle or square.
Right.
Or circle or B or X.
Right.
And you can see where he's shooting.
Sure.
So,
So what you'll see is he shoots the gap. I don't think he'll do it against 0-1
yeah,
trap.
and it's going the other way, but yeah.
It's, no, I think that's fine because the wham that guy pulls there.
God, you
So,
want him to find that.
and he's not. So temper that. But against halfback wham, I'm telling you, go in and try it in practice mode. Go into a game, call Cover 2 invert from 3-4 bear,
Base a line,
and just crash your line down. That's all you do. And then that safety, he shoots the gap. Like, he's not right now, like, I think it's just the play design. He will shoot that gap. Now, what I want to show you out of stopping an 0-1 trap, go to 3-4 odd.
Okay.
I also think this defense right here is also going to double as a very good Wham defense. So just call cover 4 Mike for me.
Okay.
Great, fantastic play. You got good cover 4, and this is going to be a phenomenal 0-1 trap, halfback Wham defense. So right here, we'll show you this 0-1 trap. Okay, so you just pinch your line, crash it down for me. You're done. Now, you can use the safeties, bring them in the box. I would probably tell you to play hard flats to try and take away those runs. I would use it, yeah, you can use a safety or the middle linebacker, doesn't matter. I'd probably play a little bit deeper behind the blitzing linebacker. But the idea is that blitzing linebacker, he's going to help play aggressive run defense for you so that you don't get eaten up by the user. And then you just kind of funnel in, like you're funneling in behind it. You eat the interior of the field up and you force them to go out wide. What ends up happening a lot with these 0-1 traps is you get all the run lanes in the middle of the field, and then you get hats on hats, and then you're gone. But what you get that blitzing linebacker there, and it frees up an extra player because you're usually the user that shoots the gap. So I really like these cover 4. There's a cover 3 play that does the same thing. And then you can be the free resource to make a play, opposed to you had to be the guy that ate the block the previous play. So I find that these plays are working pretty well.
In run fits, again, they're R trigger, X, or B.
Yep.
X or B. X shows left, B shows right. That would be circle and square on PlayStation. Gibbs, real quick, we don't have a ton of time. I do want to talk about something that we said we would show here, and that's loop blitzing 101. Just not necessarily the setup people are using, but what can people expect to see when they get to higher levels? Pressure coming in.
Sure.
I mean, Problem's been loop blitzing, sting pinch zone, Madden 02. Like, people send pressure from depth. People blitz from the linebacker position. Comes in. Sure. It's a constant thing you see, but why is it effective this year?
Give me the defensive stick and come out and gun spread. So there's 2 different loops that you're seeing. I mean, not different loops, but like you can pretty much get loop pressure from just about any formation. It takes, in my opinion, a lot of resources to get it to work pretty effectively. But what I like about this is the big time 2-3-6. If you remember in the past TWIMs, what was it, last week or the week before, we gave you this blitz right here, right? So this pressure comes off that right edge, snap of the ball, you go, you're going to scream off that edge, right? So now you have that blitz. You have the coverage audible from this. You can do it from cover 2, cover 3, 2-man, send it right, send it left, both ways, all the goodness, right?
Hey, go watch that video.
All the goodness.
YouTube.com/Sgibs.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/GFarles. Either place, go watch that. Very important.
So off of that, you can take this to a loop where you're getting pressure from a linebacker. So what you would do here is you go cover 2, you can do 2-man, whatever you really want. So let's set it up the same way. Baseline press, pinch your linebackers, shift your line left, just like the other setup. In this instance, you crash your linebackers down, not out. And then when you blitz the linebacker, you take a look at where the blitz angle's going.
Yes. He's
going to the left B gap. And now what you look at, when you really look at it, you have the outside linebacker going to tackle. You have the D tackle who's pushing towards the center and the guard. And then you have the right D tackle who's pushing towards the center and the guard as well. So what ends up happening, you got to get him in the right spot. If you get the right timing, the right speed with the linebacker, he'll blitz in through the B gap pretty effectively. It's more of a delayed style blitz. It's not edge. It's not an A gap. It's not anything crazy. But it's a good, consistent way to get depth from a spot that most people are really uncomfortable facing. So snap of the ball, you should see him. Sometimes the center will recover. But see how it's a little loop?
Tom Brady kind of fast, but yeah, he loops in.
Correct.
So you gotta keep an eye out because you're gonna see pressure like that, and it's delayed. It's not quite as spicy as edge pressure, but it does come in from the B gap, so it can be a little bit spooky. But if you're setting it up or you're seeing it, you gotta remember that guy's not gonna blitz straight down. The line's gonna crash one way. He's gonna funnel in, and that's kind of how it works.
Let's try it on the opposite side. See that sometimes it happens. Yeah. Sometimes it happens. There's some of them you'll see are better than others, and some are not. But if you're looking to pick that up, you would keep a halfback on that side.
One thing I find interesting, Gibbs, is in previous years' games, you would always almost look for a blitzer on a funny angle.
Yeah.
This year, instead of him going straight down, he goes to a gap.
Well,
but it's just delayed enough.
Well, take a look at this. Depending on your line crash, watch this. Line crash out, where he goes.
Now you don't want that.
I don't want that. I
don't want that.
I don't want that. I want him to loop. So a line crash down, he attacks that left B gap. If I line crash out, like for setting up edge pressure, his assignment now, because if you look at the assignments, you have the D end and the D tackle. They go at the left tackle and then the guard. And now when you blitz him, his is supposed to go at the center.
You would want this setup more so if you were going to blitz the slot.
Yes.
But since you're blitzing the loop, you want them in so that he goes there.
Right. So now snap of the ball, you think edge pressure. Uh-oh. Now it comes right there.
Nice.
Different change of pace.
You'll see top players do that. If you play weekend league, pro guys, they're going to run some loop blitzes, some pressure from depth. You still have all the tools at your disposal. You can crash you can, slide protect to the left, LB right on the left on the right stick. You can,
block the halfback.
Block the halfback.
ID him. Yeah, there
you
go.
can ID the mic.
Go ahead.
Who is the looper. Block the halfback. Like, that should potentially... Yeah,
it does. You block a halfback, and the halfback stays and eats him. So it's not something like, oh, you can't pick it up. It's a change of pace. It comes from a very uncomfortable spot. The other good thing about the looping blitz is you get a free, like, momentum-based, like, blitzer who gets after the halfback. And what you saw here is what you see a lot of times. I think he hurdled him. I think he did.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he's probably not the...
So you see how it's like still pressure. Like it forces you to roll. And I mean, that's Lewis, and that takes account his pass blocking and how good he is. So it's just a different way to get pressure. And what I really like about that blitz, right? What I really like about it is this. That's cover 2 man. Cover 2 man.
That's nice.
I can get good press on the outside. That will happen too.
Still gonna run over
the guard will loop over to get it. So,
nice.
But you can. What's good is that you can run this edge pressure blitz, but you can then disguise behind it the loop behind it.
All right,
which is cool.
Okay, so that's what you're going to see out there. Keep an eye out. Let us know if you have any questions. Make sure to follow, subscribe. We'll go back to more and more of those as the season goes along. Icon 3D in the chat is saying, start ID in the mic on run plays.
Yeah? Okay, let's try it.
We don't have time to
We
try
don't have to try it.
We will come back next week. I'll ID the mic on every run I run this week, and I'll let you know. I don't believe it, but I'm going to try it. I'm willing to try it because I like Icon. He did the Icon blitz, the goal line blitz last year or whatever. So we'll work on that. Let's go back to the mailbag. One more, just a little teaser for next week, Gibbs. How about next week, little Bengals offense from a man, Sean?
Yeah,
HD.
We'll see.
We'll see what's in there.
Yeah,
see what's in there. See if it's the word.
I gotta get in the lab and find new stuff. And Bengals, I've already examined it. We'll see though. We'll see. Maybe. We didn't show the 3-4 Predator.
We didn't. We didn't have time. You want to go over and go no game of the week?
No, we gotta do game of the week.
So we gotta go do game of the week. So next week 3-4 Predator.
All right. 3-4 Predator coverage D. That's a blitz.
Because we did show some coverage D earlier.
Sure.
So we'll go next week. Little 3-4 Predator.
Coverage D. Coverage D. That's a blitz.
Fancy. All right, let's get out to the game of the week.
All right.
You willing to go Patriots playbook? Do you even have the Patriots playbook?
Yeah, you have to play. I'll coach you. That's the whole point. Isn't that what we always do?
Gibbs, I've been through a traumatic week. Hurricane. It's hot in here.
It is pretty hot in here. Back out?
Do you have the Patriots playbook?
Yeah. Oh, this is on my team. This is on my account though.
Yeah, do you have Patriots playbook?
Yeah, can I just play? Can I play?
No, I can win.
Let me play. No. Let me play.
It's not the challenge. The challenge, as you could clearly see,
don't lose,
is Sgibs Pat's Scheme Online Challenge.
All right.
Do you have the Pat's playbook?
Yeah, I have the Pat's playbook.
Do you have all the playbooks?
No.
Can you do it?
You don't know how to do it?
I'm not on trial here.
Why do you not know how to do it? Of course I have it.
I'm not on trial.
You can see all the playbook. Look at these are all the playbooks I lab.
That's smart. You like the Texans?
Huh? A little bit. A little bit. It's a little funky. Cards, Bills, Jets. Those are the books I've been trying. Pats. If you want to take a look at defensive books, what I've been doing. Well, I don't change them up a bit.
Am I playing defense or are you playing defense? Let me play 3-4 cover. Let me play the coverage date. We'll do a little Predator live lab, then we'll tell them to set up next week. Are you guys excited for Predator? I'm pretty excited.
No, you're going to run the offense.
Yeah, let me play defense too. No, you can play defense.
All right, I'll play defense.
You play defense. I'll play offense. I'll make reads. I'm going to run the ball every play.
Can you handle all pro first string?
Probably not.
Okay.
I passed for 7 yards.
Am I going to have to take over?
And I almost won.
Played a tough game against Grizzly Adams last night, and he grilled me after the game. He sent me a message after the game. He was like,
"You stink."
No, he was like, why don't you put that game on this week in Madden?
Ooh,
but
tell
it was
it's
okay.
not Wednesday.
Good point.
He
was a good player though. He was a very good player. Huh?
Did he have a beard?
I hope so. I hope he did. He was a good player though. He
That's from Happy Gilmore.
I only had 3 possessions, so he did he had great, fantastic time of possession.
I think wait time's going to be pretty high.
Why?
Because that's what it said. Estimated wait time.
Did we freeze? I think we froze. No, the ball's spinning. Did we freeze? It's only on 12. How do we freeze? How does that freeze?
Ouch, yeah.
How'd that freeze? All right, go to Mudhead.
Let's go to Mudhead.
Go to Mudhead until we get this thing back.
Don't be a butthead. Go to Mudhead. Let's take a look at a little guy by the name of Floyd Leonard. Somebody recommended him earlier. Remember on 101 we were talking about good budget guys. So Leonard Floyd's 6'6". He's a guy you definitely want to get involved.
Wow.
You could potentially user him. He'll continue to get faster. He's a gold, but at 6'6", 80 speed, 80 agility, that's pretty strong for a good user player. He's somebody that I definitely like. Any other players that you guys are out there really into? Derek Carr with Conductor.
He's fantastic. We have him.
This is critical.
Is
it Team 3 or Team Tier 4?
Tier 4. He's the best player in the game. Like you asked me that before, but like it's very difficult to obtain. But like he's the best player in the game. Conductor is so valuable.
82 speed is.
Wait till you see
insane.
How much fun it is with this, like to just get 2 hot routes in and go, not have to wait. It's fantastic.
Pretty enough. It's pretty good.
I hope you. How great would it be if you got like Conductor Tier 2, 3 hot routes?
Ooh,
right.
Fancy.
Imagine that.
Fancy. So let's take a look at Cory Grant.
The Lattimore Team of the Week, very good.
Lattimore is good. So Cory Grant's a speedster. I think the new guy we just talked about is gonna cover him, Cohen.
Yeah.
He's gonna kind of fill in for a lot of things Cory Grant does, unless
agility is so bad.
20 caps good. That's really low.
He could be the goon though. Like remember who Bo Jackson or Darius Jackson?
Darius, don't call him Bo. Jackson. But yeah, the Cohen's definitely somebody you want in your arsenal. Guys, remember, please follow the channel if you haven't yet. I know I saw a lot of good alerts fly in tonight. So thank you for
joining the Z Farls Hit Stick Club. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining the Sgibs Stinks Club. I'll even pop on alert box for a couple seconds while somebody signs up.
If you follow the channel, you'll see me hit sticking Z Farls, Snowman Z Farls. Please someone follow. Please someone follow.
No, I don't follow. I'm gonna turn it off.
No. Please, please someone follow.
It hitches up the stream.
Please, no, it does not. Please, someone follow. Someone follow.
Don't.
It's probably a little delayed, right? Wow, no one will follow. Wow.
Welcome to these I am a man of the people.
Someone made that command.
I'm a man of the people. I don't even own electricity. I am a man of.
There it is. Oh, King Colton hit stick. Look at that.
Colton,
wait, leave it. How good is that? How good is that?
King Colton.
That's so good. I was gonna change it. I was in a bring up the TWIM logo on the bottom. Right, yeah, thank you. Boom. Thanks.
Does that cover too much though?
No. Just enough. Just the right amount. It's good. Yeah? You okay?
Yeah, people aren't following because they're Team Farce. Cal Cruel, that's my guy.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Are you
Chick Liddell, oldie but
Chick Liddell's back?
Southern. Wow. Yes, but look at Cohen and look at there's a couple other guys out there.
No, I have no.
Now you have to play. Now you have to play for real.
I can't. I don't have my playbook.
Well, that's an excuse.
Oh man! No!
Team matchup as you get a peek at some of the big players in today's game.
Come on, man!
Player in today's game as well. Let's get the party started.
Who are those players?
No!
Who are those players? My hands are sweating.
I'm hot. I'm bothered. I'm hot and bothered.
All right, let's focus. Do you want a different chair?
Can I sit there?
Yeah,
I need to sit there. I might need a different chair.
Yeah. Let's get you this one. Let's get you some water. Okay. Let's get you a towel.
Can you give me that milk chair?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god. This is not good. Can you coach me? Mr. White, why?
Underway from Santa Clara. This is fielded a couple yards deep. It's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
I've only run this offense like Mr. White. I'm nervous. I'm nauseous. I'm nauseous.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And the slot man goes in motion left. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Aaron Donald's secret, if there is one, to his play, his ability to contort his body in such a way that you can't get a good, clean block on it. He slides through holes and slides past blockers and makes plays just as we saw there.
Carr going to throw. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. A first down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
I don't want to.
They'll send Brown in motion right. Now Carr throwing on second down. Looking deep for Julio. This is caught inside the 15.
That was a great use.
For 36 yards.
That was a great use. Great discipline. Great discipline.
Post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a change-up in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the change-up, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Buying time to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Joey Bosa in there to sack him for a loss of 6. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
There is a lot of benefits to that.
From the gun, it's Carr. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski. Complete.
Right.
And
he played. He brought the house there. That's I gotta tell him that. I gotta tell him that.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles.
I gotta tell him that.
He couldn't do it.
Yeah, linebacker is down more.
And hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
Yeah. Let him. Boy, Reds. My boy, Reds.
Yeah,
he's got some guys.
Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
On second down, Wilson.
Go! Come on!
It's a Patriot sack.
Well, that play
Yeah, go follow the movement, baby. Go follow the movement.
Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a
Did he?
big sack.
His top prob against top competition? It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
He does post his whole lineup, so you can see who he's using.
So it's third and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Trips to the left.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's caught by OBJ. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis with you.
On third and 17, early in the red zone. He took it, but didn't go for it on fourth in the field goal. This, obviously, he's going to go for it. He's not in range yet.
Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on fourth. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's caught inside the 30.
I manned up the wrong guy.
He will be hit with a lot of force and spun down.
I manned up the left slot. He sent the inside
pass. It'll be first down 49ers.
I manned up the...
Go retweet this tweet, please. If you're in the chat, you're watching. This is a big game. This doesn't happen all the time. This is a once-a-year thing. Let's go. We don't even have power. Let's go.
First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Again, it's McCoy. Busting free at the 10.
I blitzed him.
It's a 49er touchdown.
No, I must not have blitzed him.
Home from 19 yards out. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6.
I gotta against some marginal guy.
Make it 7-3. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away.
Huge fault.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do that.
I'm trying to win.
Just going to be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
The play clock's running down. Carr now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've
very good.
I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Slot man moves right. On second down, Johnson. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Don't want that. I'll tell you what, I don't want that.
Motion left. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
Here we go with Johnson. I'm sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. So certainly an interesting
I still think I
call
can
there to
get
go
1 yard,
for it.
but
And that will force a turnover on downs. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out right. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. He got 29 yards that time. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. So the offense has it, 6-yard line, 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Oh, that would be on YouTube.
LaShawn McCoy with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
Oh, man, that was a cut. That was a great cut. That was a smoke.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away.
You're all right.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Sure.
And now out come the Patriots. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted.
He did that to him last time, too. He did that.
Anthony Barr, and into the end zone.
I can do
A
that.
6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers,
now we're in trouble.
They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide.
Now we're in trouble.
How about the anticipation
now we're
on
in
the
trouble.
play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the
That was a
football
Todd.
and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
I wanted to.
They're going to need to get
try
up
and
and
go
set
to
in a hurry. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Brandon looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down.
You got a good punt? Good punt game?
return there after
Oh, that was disastrous. That was disastrous.
Offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in.
They're really good this year. They're really good. They're a great compliment to the outs.
We get ready to approach halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. Wilson now, throwing again. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down.
Got good balance, 6 and 4.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. On 1st down, Wilson.
Weddle.
It's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Tony Gonzalez as the first half is winding down. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
Sometimes
man's easy, and then sometimes you play.
And they open the lead up now to 25 points.
I'll give myself this. The first time I played him, I played way better. So I think he got a lot better. I think I got a lot worse. Or he just got a lot better, and I stayed nowhere near as good.
Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure
Ebert, that's going to have to be what I go with.
They want to play this.
Going to have to.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2nd down following the run. The slot man in motion right. Carr to throw on 2nd down. And down he goes. The 49ers.
We'll take it into the half. We'll take it into the half.
That's that Tampa 2.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon.
That doesn't help. That doesn't help.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken very short, and they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff,
I did win the first quarter,
the entire
right?
halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football, and getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He'll let it go, and he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Odell Beckham, 31 yards.
Shearer, we have a lot of problems
just
right
pouring it on. He's been a busy
I'm going to fight. If I get home 50 burger, I give him a 50 burger. I don't care. Power, apparently power is out.
I have no power.
I have no power. I have no power.
Vinatieri out there
you want
to
to play?
Kick this one away.
I mean, if you need me to jump in there.
This is
if you press in the coverage.
deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned.
I do wish I
some
had
teams script to start a half.
I said that.
Teams just
I
go,
said,
okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. But sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract
I might need
time.
FEMA for this game.
And he motions the wide receiver. On first down, Carr. And
Stem on that
free.
vertical.
The collision
Stem on
there
the
jarred
vertical,
the ball
man.
loose and brings up second down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Carr will try it again on second down. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
New England on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19. Shotgun now for Carr.
No, don't do that.
It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
You need the backbreaker. You need the backbreaker out here. Stuff.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Play clock winding down. Here we go on 4th down with Carr. It's caught. Jones. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. It's a pickup of 21. And it'll be first down, New England.
I need more allowance. I might cry in the car. I might go get Jimmy John's. I might go get a public sub. Like, there's so many things I could get.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And past the 30 down to about the 27. Pretty good running there. 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
I'm so excited.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
No, we fight. So I'm 0-2 against Problem.
That's there. That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it.
Oh! It's just a top play.
And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver.
Fumble.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one to get some a new set.
Well, no, that's my excuse is to say you got 50 birds.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision.
What do you say?
Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Odell Beckham with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
The spread was net minus
turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far.
Oh,
as we
thanks.
Get set
you
for the 4th
got
quarter.
him.
Very
Just
one-sided affair.
Said if you got a blowout going.
Vinatieri out there to kick this one away.
Not any good. You know why that perfect?
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception.
Yeah, I would
but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Money drive. This is my money drive. This is my money drive.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the ball is knocked out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's going to take this one to the 37-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen in the game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him
Yeah,
up?
got me down,
What does
Ray.
it really matter? Sometimes
Yeah,
it's just a
got me
great
down,
play
Ray.
made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now Wilson on second down. He's going to look deep down the field. And he hauls it in the end zone.
He's going to go for 2. He has to go for 2. He has to go for 2.
33 yards. And a forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Niners.
He has to.
Now this one
Do you
was
see
over
this
a
look?
while ago
Do you
as
see
they
this
just
look?
add on to their big lead.
This is a defeated man. This is a defeated man. This is a defeated. Good game. It was a good game in the second quarter. I was up in the first quarter. I was up in the first quarter. It was 3-0. 3-0 in the first quarter.
4th and 7. Really hurt.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks.
A lot of hit sticks.
The Patriot offense now set
I
to
think-
come
I think
back
you're right. I
out
think he
on
knows
the
he's gonna
field.
score again.
And the turnover last time,
No.
that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though,
Yeah.
because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this one.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
True.
That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better
There's
as the
nothing
game
to
goes on.
complain about.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
There's
And
nothing
I
to
don't know
complain
that that
about.
fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the
Who
deficit
was
here in
that?
the 40.
Anthony Barr?
It doesn't matter.
David
The coach
Johnson?
on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah,
Road
not
Soda's is back for
scratching his
this.
head, but probably writing a note or
Road
two.
Soda's coming back. Road Soda, you come back for
So
this?
does they say Carl
Maybe
isn't
that's
good
the
anymore?
No.
At this point, but being
Don't let him
sloppy
get 50.
throughout the game,
Don't let him get 50.
not gonna
I'm
help him
trying
improve.
not to.
Really nice starting field position here for the offense.
Yeah, Falls, I see you. No problem.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second
Yeah, Falls,
down.
I see you.
And when do they
mocking
start
me in the
thinking
background.
about burning these timeouts? They
I see
got
you
all
mocking
three
me in the
still
background.
defensively.
To me, you have to
Yeah.
start right
Mocking you would
now.
be this.
Here's the time,
Mocking's
and that
like
means you've got to
do an
stop
impression
them
of
on
me.
defense,
I'm
not give up
cheering
the
when you're
yardage.
getting destroyed.
Use your
Yes, that's not
timeouts in order to
mocking
get
would
the
be
ball
this.
back and try and score
hold the
yourself.
controller
But
and
now
be
is the
like,
time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They go play action with
We'll get
Wilson.
beat over the top again for the
A
ninth.
swing pass caught. And they are going to score again.
I'm not
Yet
mocking.
another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean
Hey, listen.
sweep in this one, hasn't it?
There's a reason he's good.
Pretty dominant
The
throughout
reason
this
he
game.
plays and I don't.
And privately, the
You
head
should
coach
pay
will add
attention to the
fourth
way Problem
phase.
plays.
That's the
moral of
coaching.
story.
And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new
Maybe I'm
contract
just
off
not
for this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter.
You think so? We gotta come up with the excuses. I didn't
This
eat
will be
dinner.
taken in
I'm
after
hungry.
one.
I'm hungry. I worked all day.
And not a bad return
Worked
here.
all
He gets
day.
it out to the 25-yard line.
Really hot in this room.
And the
I'm not
Patriots
hydrated.
gearing up to go now.
You got me a chair.
And last time, not only the turnover,
What else?
but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We just had a
We always hear
hurricane.
about empty possessions.
My emotional level
Some
was
are
really
worse
low.
than others. You can
Thought I was
have
gonna
empty
die for a
possession,
while.
pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it
What else
over,
we have?
it changes momentum. And when they take it down
else
and
another-
punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there,
I
aren't
don't have
you?
my
You better
playbook.
be,
Should that be the
because
number one?
otherwise, It's going to be a long day for you.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Any good? Happy?
I can't play against these guys and be good. Like inconsistent.
Time for
I
a
think I
break.
can.
We'll come back
always
and
think you
wrap
can't
up
do it. You always
garbage
wanna
time after this.
You always want to know.
Found out quick, didn't you?
You're up for enough.
I had a great first quarter.
You had him the whole way.
I had a great first
You had
quarter.
him the whole way.
I had a great first
You had
quarter.
him the whole way.
3-0 first quarter. Right?
Yeah.
Great
You
first
shut him
quarter.
out. You shut him out.
Shut him out in the first quarter.
Shut him out.
They go to Johnson again.
I shut him out in the
Pushes
first
way
quarter.
forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's
First
third
quarter.
down.
What, are you happy?
Just read the chat, you know.
Looks like the defense
Yeah.
in press coverage here.
Right? Shout out to the great first quarter, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On third down, that's Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Come on.
I cannot believe that Road Sodas came back for this.
So
The first quarter was my Super Bowl.
This plays out. Now Carr got to have this one. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Willie McGinnis picked it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
I wish I could have played next to
another on the
TD
offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And an alley to run.
No! No! That hurts more!
Oh my god.
Okay, so that's why
Stop the fight. Stop the fight.
Stop the fight!
Still like to run the football. When you run it that successfully, the offensive line is fired
Virtually
up.
punched here.
What they want to do each and every game
Throw
is run
the damn towel.
smack
Throw
some
the
people.
damn towel.
Don't throw
Go
socks
ahead
at
and
me!
run
Throw
it again.
Throw the towel!
Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel.
Throw the towel!
Throw in the towel.
You told me to respect Odell. I didn't respect Odell. Throw the towel!
3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to
Throw
use
the
them here
towel.
as the kneel down comes.
In all seriousness, no.
Yes. 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 Thank you very much.
I'm a defeated man. I just got virtually beat up over the internet.
What spin move is that?
I don't know. I don't.
Play?
Take your socks. Why are your socks here? Why did you take your socks off?
I don't have power.
Why did you take your socks off in my house? All right, well, back to the lab session.
Charles, it's one thing to win.
Yeah,
It's another
you're
thing to
more,
win and put up the
lab
amount of
abs
points
than
that they
you
did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't
That
help
was his
but
Super
feel
Bowl?
great about
That was
themselves,
his
can
Super
they?
Bowl?
I mean, what a game to put up that number of
Was that a
points.
Super Bowl?
Continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking.
Let's go watch the levels pick and then watch your horrendous third ones. GG's.
Good game.
GG's.
Good game.
You guys can drop some GG's over there.
You should go to topman.com. Oh, I'm not okay. I'm emotionally upset. This is the best. This thing right here. I swear to God, the first time I played, he did the same thing.
You didn't learn though.
No.
You kind of quick snapped it. Like it was fairly quick.
Oh yeah.
Would go back. Would he have played the C? Like what can he play here? He was just getting out there to get.
He just went out there.
You said you like the book. You're very predictable. I've been telling you that for years. I
I'm
haven't been able to translate the beatdown like this. I know what you're doing.
I'm not
He
saying
knows
that
it
I'm
goes a
not.
little better.
Yeah.
Look at the third and one though.
What?
He had a really good second quarter.
Did he? Why?
You had a really good first quarter. He had a really good second quarter.
Wait, because he put up 28 points?
He had a good second quarter.
Because he put up.
It was a good quarter.
Oh. I can't show it.
No, yeah. No. No, not that one. Third and one.
That was it, wasn't it?
Second quarter.
That.
No, the third down run though was the worst one. This was like you got a good push and you should have cut it back in the middle.
No, I can't because his user's right
To
there.
get 1 yard?
With bar. His user's right there with bar.
Yeah, you
There's
get
nowhere to
him
go.
61. You get a yard there. The third and one was.
Horrendous.
That's,
Yeah. So I played a good first quarter, played terrible second, third, and fourth quarter.
Hey, you won the first quarter. You know?
I'll have to hang my hat on that. I won the first quarter.
Never got me down, Ray.
Never got me down. All right, guys.
Shout out
Oh my God! Look at that line.
I gotta take a picture of that.
Oh, let me get. I'm gonna tweet that myself.
Hey man,
my God.
in the first quarter.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Help me, Mr. White. All right, guys. I gotta go.
Until next time.
I gotta go take a shower.
Lock up.
Do something.
The Irma game.
The Irma game.
Alright. See you guys. Follow the channel. Lock up. We'll see you next week, next Wednesday.
All right, guys.
Alright, Pete.
See ya.